Hi guys, my name is Ali Kerr and I'm the founder of Heal.com. In this video, I want to give you 5 tips to help you deal with a relapse during your recovery from binge eating disorder or bulimia. So you probably know what I mean when I mention the word relapse. This is when everything's going great for you, then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you start binging. So what do? Well, you feel devastated, you panic, you feel gutted, you feel like you're right back to square one. Well, I'm here to tell you this is actually a normal part of the recovery process. So here's my 5 tips to help you deal with a relapse during your recovery. Okay guys, so tip number 1 is to expect relapses to happen during your recovery. If you go through recovery and expect to never binge again, then ultimately you're going to be left feeling very disappointed when you do end up binging. So do expect them to happen along the way, especially in the early stages of recovery. Binging will not disappear overnight. It takes time to work on meeting your nutritional needs as well as breaking the habits that are associated with the binge urges. So guys, tip number 2 is start to view each and every relapse as a learning experience. Instead of beating yourself up, start to think of what can you learn from the relapse, what can you pull out from it. And there's a few questions you may want to journal about or simply think about, and here they are. The first big question is, were you eating enough that day? Were your meals balanced? Were you getting the right amount of macronutrients, protein, carbs and fats? Was there any particular triggers around? Triggering food, trigger environment, people, etc. Perhaps you were feeling down, were you feeling emotional? You want to think about that. Any events that led to this binge. And the last question you really want to think about is, what can you do differently next time round? Okay guys, so tip number 3 is you're not back to square one. So just because you experienced a relapse, this does not pull you right back to the beginning. You're not back to square one. Alright, so tip number 4 is start to look for a reduction in your binge episodes. So to help measure progress, what we're looking for is a reduction in your binge frequency, your binge duration and your binge intensity. So binge frequency means working on slowly reducing the number of binges you experience each week or each month. Your binge duration, this means working on reducing the actual time spent on each binge. And your binge intensity means working on reducing the amount of food that you consume during each binge. This is a far better way to help measure your progress and to help keep you motivated and keep moving along with your recovery. Okay, so tip number 5 is to forgive yourself after a relapse. And I understand this is probably the last thing you want to be doing at that particular time. But believe me, by showing a little bit of self-compassion can go a long way at dealing with any emotional pain that's associated with the relapse. So instead, during this time, plenty of self-care. Take some time for yourself, talk kindly to yourself. And lastly, remember, there's no such thing as a perfect recovery. Always expect both the ups and the downs that happen along the way. So guys, I hope you found these tips helpful for you today. So it's now up to you to put them into action. Remember, recovery is not a race. Go at a pace that's right for you and take baby steps along the way. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button and look out for more videos to come to help you progress with your recovery. Take care.